Hello FlossTube, my name is Christy. Welcome to my first FlossTube video. So exciting. So nervous. To keep myself calm, I'm imagining Joe Gregoire sitting across the table from me. The thing is, she's fallen off her chair laughing because I'm so nervous. My imagination. Joke's on you, Joe. I'm imagining you in your underwear. I thought I would take the time to show you guys my works in progress as just an introduction for this first video. So I'm going to start in the order that I started these projects. The first is Bothy Threads, Kings and Queens of England since 1066. This is the picture of what it's supposed to look like. So each of the kings and then their name and then a little bit about them. This guy has a jaguar because he built a menagerie inside the London Tower of London, are in the grounds. And of course there's Jane getting her head chopped off, and you know, Mary's got to be nearby making sure it happens. And so there's the guys. My progress so far, I've completed the first 3 lines and started on the 4th. So here it is. This is stitched on 16 count white Aida with the flosses that came in the kit. The kit came with 14 count, but I don't care for the coverage of 14, or 2 over 1 on 14, so I'm doing 2 over 1 on 16 count. Now, astute viewers will notice a problem with this. And some of you who I've been on a hangout with will notice a problem with this. Yes, top line is 10 spaces too far up. I started the second line too low. I nearly cried. There might have been tears. Yeah, it was bad. After much thought, I've made the decision that I'm going, because I had the whole second line completed before I realized the top line was too high or the second line was too low, however you want to picture that. So my decision is to continue with the project until the end and see how it looks, see if anyone would notice, or you know, how obvious it is, except it's very obvious to me. So chances are when the rest of this is done, I will probably take out the first line and restitch it a little lower. I had some thoughts of maybe writing like their last names, the houses that they came from, like Plantagenet and Windsor, although Windsor was not the original. And then writing the houses there, or putting some crowns or some sort of decorative thing, but chances are I will take out the top line and move it down. So this was bought for me by my husband. It was a Christmas present in 2014. It was started on June 27th, 2015, and it continues. On that one, I count each line as a finish in my mind, because it's, you know, it's enough. That's it. That would be a finish. That's enough stitching. Anyway, so ongoing. The next is my Prairie Schooler alphabet. Yes, I'm doing the alphabet. Sorry, I hear the cat's coming down the stairs. Oh, she's bringing me one of her sticks. This is what she does. Hi. Very good. Prairie Schooler alphabet. I was influenced to start this by Jan from Thread Garden. Her gorgeous project is something I so admire. When I see her videos come up, I go to those first because of how eager I am to see the progress on her project. For me, my choice is to do the 26 letters and the ampersand, the and sign, in 3 panels of 9 letters or symbols. So I started this project on July 2nd of 2015. And so I started with the middle panel, the middle of the 3. So there's J, K, L, M, N, and you can see I'm working on O. This is a delight to stitch. I'm stitching this on 25 count cream Lugana with the DMC flosses as charted. I'm stitching this 2/1 tent stitch, so it's not too big, but it's enough. I kind of think, so given the size, this is my head, this is the size of the project, I almost think that it would be gorgeous as 3 pillows on the couch, until the cats get all of them. Or it could be, 3 separate pictures hanging on the wall. For me, doing this in 3s just makes it a little more useful. This is my favorite, the cat. There's something about the colors they chose and how they blend that make this cat absolutely glow when you see it. I hope it's showing on camera because it's just magical. It's amazing artistry. I did do some reconstructive surgery on the mermaid. I decreased her forehead. She was charted to look like she had been a Botox experiment gone horribly, horribly wrong. So I did some changes there. I did keep her belly because, women's got bellies. Anyway, so if you're doing this one, what I would recommend is 4 spaces in between each blocks and in between each line. Most of these charts are 70 by 100 or a little over, except for N. And N might be the one that you actually want to start with because it's 74 inches wide. And so in order to get the spacing proper, that one takes a little finesse, I'll say. That's my recommendation. I think Jan said she's doing just 2 stitches between, and hers looks obviously gorgeous because that's what influenced me to start. So the next will be O, and then PQR, and then this panel will be done. After that, I plan to go on to STU, the last third of the alphabet, and then do ABC last. My decision to do that is based on I thought that I would get bored if I started with ABC, and I knew, there's 26 letters in our alphabet. Holy crap, that's a lot. And then they add the ampersand. Good Lord. So it's a long-term project. For my counts, I consider each letter as a finish. Because it's enough. I mean, it would be a finish if I was doing just one. So that's 10 stitch, good. So the third project I want to show you is I started on December 30th, and it's Blend in Place Rainbow Parfait. And this one is pretty popular. I've seen quite a few people do it. Some people have made gorgeous projects of this. I have made some changes. Last year, I discovered that you can actually change the flosses called for in the pattern, and they still turn out. Usually, I did not get, this calls for dinky dyes. I did not get the dinky dyes. I went to my local, or my LNS, which actually is an LNC, local needlework closet, because it's rather small. They have a ton of stuff in there, but it's small, so we'll call it an LNC. I went there, and I had a picture of what the dinky dyes look like together, and then from that I got ideas choosing the floss. And so what I've done is kind of change the colorway to, initially I was thinking it was a tumnel. That was my plan. But it's turned out rather light given the background fabric. And so it kind of looks to me sort of southwestern. So I might nickname it Southwestern Parfait, or Sedona Parfait, or something like that. This is stitched on 28 count lambswool Jobelin. It's 2/1 full cross. The featured floss is a Threadworks, and those usually just have numbers, and I can get the number for you next time. The rest are Weeks Dye Works and some DMC. I had chosen some Crescent Color Works, but once I got all the flosses home and looked at them, and they didn't quite gel once I got them home, so I pulled out some DMC and kind of matched it to the feature floss, and that's where I'm going with it. It's to me, it's an experiment. It's going okay so far. I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope that it will turn out well. I haven't bought the beads for it yet. I'm going to wait until it's finished and then take it to the LNC and choose the beads. So that's Rainbow Parfait. The next project was started on January 29th. So my mother is a fiber artist as well. She used to do needlepoint, tapestry. She's done rug hooking. She knits. She has sewn. Doesn't sew much. But right now her main focus is, and for years has been knitting, and she knits Afghans. She doesn't knit your grandmother's Afghans. She takes cross-stitch patterns and she will knit those into Afghans, and not where you first stitch the Afghan and then cross-stitch over. She doesn't do that. She knits it in tarja. So each stitch in the Afghan is the color it would be if it were cross-stitched. It's amazing. She's won first place in Best of Show in the State Fair of Texas. She's been published in magazines. She's rather remarkable. When I go visit her soon, I promise to take some pictures or some video of the works that she has done to show you. I have a picture. I will endeavor to insert it somewhere in this video. There might be an insertion here. They're amazing to see, and I'm very proud of her. And she taught me how important needlework is, how the value of needlework, and I want to honor that for her. This pattern that I'm about to show you is one, she actually chose this pattern and had some thoughts of stitching this into an Afghan, but after she has seen me cross-stitch this, she's made the decision she doesn't want to stitch it into an Afghan, but she will get this pattern when it's done, and I'm kind of in a rush to get it to her. So this is the pattern. It's Dimensions of Gold Collection, Rocky Point Lighthouse. And so, since starting it in January, I have made this much progress. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm over halfway done. There's still quite a bit to go. In a dream world, in my fantasy world, in my utopia, I would finish this by the end of March, because I thought our plan is to go visit her in April, and I would love to have this done to take to her. If that doesn't work out, it will make a lovely Mother's Day gift. So that would be my next goal. But because it's a gift, because it's for her, I really want to get it done. And then when it's done, I can go back to these other stitches that I love but haven't had time to work on, and start some new ones, because there's several patterns that are backing up in the queue, in my mental queue, to get to start. And there are times when I really want to start something new, but if I can push through and endeavor, this will be done, and this will be for her. So that is Rocky Point. That is stitched on 18 count oatmeal. I actually swapped out the fabric. It came with some 18 count oatmeal, but as I looked at the size, there was going to be like 1.5 inch border around, and personally I'm just not comfortable with 1.5 inches. Who is? I'd rather go for 3 inches. So I grabbed the oatmeal, and it's actually, I prefer also that it's a little bit, it's not so stark white, because most of the sky, let me show you again, is actually half stitch. Most of the ocean is half stitch, which is part of the reason this is going so quickly. But I think if it was stark white, the half stitch would really show through. As you might be able to see, the coverage is not perfect in the half stitch. I don't know if you can tell. But I think using the oatmeal really kind of hides the background fabric through the picture. Okay, the last of my current works in progress was started on February 6th. I know, I started a project after I had started this one. I turned 50 on February 11th, and so for my birthday, I actually chose sort of a private retreat away from everyone. There were no husbands to worry about. There were no children to have to think about. I was alone in a room in a resort nearby, not far away, you know, something I could drive to. So I enjoyed great food. I sat in the room or outside, or enjoyed the grounds. And I binge watched Orange is the New Black. I'd never seen it before, and it's an amazing show. If you haven't seen it, certainly think about adding it to your watching queue. And so I spent the weekend stitching, and my husband actually did come down for Saturday night dinner. We had a lovely dinner there at the resort together, with wines, and I had elk, and it was very tasty. Anyway, while I was there, I did do some kitting up and some bobbinating and some things like that. But in addition to that, I worked on this project. This is Ink Circles, Damask Square. So this is the pattern, and this is my progress. So I am stitching this on 16 count Shimmering Seas Aida from Under the Sea Fabrics. The thread that I'm using is Fiberlicious Cotton in Electric Blueberry. So that's my start on this guy, and looking forward to seeing more progress on this one. It's nice because it's just one color. I don't have to worry about switching colors or whatever, and it's to me it's somewhat meditative, just finding the stitches and doing each one individually. It just is relaxing to me. And you know, maybe it's because of the whole weekend and the goal of the weekend, but for me this is a joy to work on. So that's Damas Square. I have one more project I want to show you. This is a finish that many of you will recognize from not from Pinterest, from Instagram and from Facebook. This, in order to establish some FlossTube cred, I thought I would show you guys my Heaven and Earth Designs finish. The name of the project is Chess Game Books, and the artist is Jonathan Wolstenholme. It's stitched on 18 count Aida, 2/1 full cross, and so of course it's upside down. Here it is. Let's see if I can get this corner straightened out a bit. It's been rolled. Well, that's most of it. Anyway, so this is like almost 2 feet long and 1.5 feet high. It's large. This is going to go in pride of place. This will go once framed above the mantle in my living room, my front room, so that when people come in they can see it, because we're very proud of it. It was perfectly described by Rachel. I believe her channel name is Rachel X Stitch, as a creepy cool picture, which, you know, I think it applies. It was nice because it had not too much confetti. It did have some, which kept things interesting. The hands were rough, and there were a couple of times in the middle of the chessboard where there were 43 different colors in a 100 square block. Yeah, so like half. Anyway, that took some time, slowed things down. One of the things I want to show is something that happened to this. I stitched this in columns, 10 by 10 stitch columns all the way down, and because of my tension, or I do something with that last stitch that changes it, but I have I don't know if you, columns. You can see the column lines all the way across this project. There, you can really see them down here. And that goes all the way across. I thought while I was stitching it that maybe once I washed it and blocked it, that the columns would go away, the tension would even out like they do in knitting. That doesn't happen. That didn't happen. So I have ridges. Because they're even and consistent all the way across, it's a design feature. I'm going to leave them. It's still going to be framed. It's still going to be up there on my mantle. And you know, people don't see it that close. They'll be 4 feet away, 5 feet away. They'll see the picture. They won't see the columns. And even if they do, you know, it's sort of an old world painting. It would have some effects. Anyway, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it the way it is. I love this piece. I treasure this piece. And I'm looking forward to framing that. But so I have completed a Haid. Yay me. So those are the works in progress and the finish that I wanted to show you in this first video. I wanted to take some time to thank those of you who have made videos before me. You have become my friends. You have cheered me up when I was sad. You have calmed me down when I was anxious. You have provided me with so much humor, and I have learned so much from watching you all. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done, for this time that you spent and sharing your lives with us, with those who watch. I'm honored to be able to be part of the FlossTube community. Very thankful. This didn't happen without the encouragement of some dear friends of mine, chatters who know who they are, and just gave me all their love and encouragement that they could. So that's it for now. I'm a little concerned about the next video because most of my focus is on that one piece. So you'll see the progress on that. But I also want to share some of my finished projects that I've done in the past. And there's some stash to show and tags to be done. So I think I can fill time while I, steady work on finishing up this lighthouse. So thanks again for watching. Please click the like if you like, click the subscribe if you really like, click thumbs up if you sort of like. So that's it. Now it's time to go out and stitch like the wind.